The Indiana Pacers just stole game one of the NBA Finals, and they did exactly what they've been doing all playoffs long. They didn't quit. I have a bunch of notes here on my phone, and what's the point of me reading them? Because all the notes are about the Thunder and what they were doing well, but in the end, it didn't matter because Tyrese Halliburton is that clutch. Right now, he's an all-time playoff performer. His highlight reel, his playoff highlight reel from this season is better than some all-time greats. The shot making is unbelievable. Every series he's been in, he's had a game winner. Or he'd had the play that saves the game or the play that sends the game to overtime. I don't even know what to say. Some guys just have that clutch gene, and he's at the top of the top. I'm putting him up there with Chauncey Billups. He's Mr. Big Shot right now. Because you can't count him out. You cannot do it. Let me just run through some of my notes because I got to touch on them, and then we'll circle back to the end of the game. I started talking about the Thunder in the first half. They forced 19 turnovers. They played 11 guys. They played wave after wave after wave of players coming off the bench and making a difference. But they weren't able to get that lead to 20 points. And when you're in that 8 to 10 point range with the final 4 minutes, especially against Indiana, it's scary. As I looked in the fourth quarter, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander starts the fourth quarter on the bench. And then they cut the lead down to 8. And I'm looking, I said, this is a little bit too long where he's sitting. When he finally comes back in, it's just too close to be comfortable. And he hit big shots. He hit big free throws. But this is a game that no one's going to remember for Shai. They're going to remember it for Tyrese Halliburton. Shai had 38 points tonight. That's an NBA Finals MVP worthy game. And no one will remember it because Halliburton had 14 points, but he had the 2 most important points of the night. I got to talk about Myles Turner here. In the third quarter, he hits 2 big threes and 2 shots from the nail. He was able to make a run in that quarter by himself, which kept the game close enough for the Pacers to be in striking distance. I also got to talk about Rick Carlisle here. The biggest advantage that the Pacers have is the coaching advantage. And Carlisle kept his guys inspired, and he kept the same strategy of play with pace down to the last play of the game, speeding up and getting down court and not calling a timeout. Because he didn't use that timeout there, the Thunder were not able to get their defense set. And sometimes that's exactly what you need, is to catch a defense off guard and just hit the shot when you need to. It was just a masterful game. And the game I kept saying was out of reach. They got it to 12, but you got to get it to 20 with the Pacers. Because you know 17 isn't safe. They just did it to the Knicks. So you damn sure know 8 isn't safe. And I think the Thunder just got a bit too comfortable. Rest your guys in the summer. You don't need to play 11 guys in the NBA Finals. You should be running an 8-man rotation, 9-man rotation. Every minute that Shai is off the court, it gives an opportunity for the Pacers to keep pushing. You got to play your best guys and you got to trust them. So I think this is a lesson learned. These are 2 young teams and they're both learning at the same time. But the coach of the Indiana Pacers is not young. He's won this thing before with the Dallas Mavericks. He's been on one of the best playoff teams and the best playoff runs ever. He did it with Dirk when people didn't expect them to win. So I bet you he's looking at this the same way. They counted me out once with the Mavericks, and they're counting me out again with the Pacers. So there's a lot to touch on. I'll have a longer recap. This is my initial reaction to Game 1, and this again will be known as a Tyrese Halliburton game. He is Mr. Big Shot. He is Mr. Clutch. All my notes are out the window because I don't know what else to say but say great game to Halliburton, great game to the Pacers, and the Thunder. You have to mentally change. You got to be mentally sharper. You cannot blow a lead in the final 2 minutes because you know what this team is going to do. You've watched it. You've studied the film, but you didn't execute when it counted the most.